What's up, soccer fans out there? Our Spencer's back for the Champions League review for this day of November 6th, 2013. Wednesday, November 6th, 2013. PlayStation 4 is coming out soon, folks. Xbox One's coming out soon, folks. I can't wait. Those systems are going to be awesome. I hope to test them out, see how good they run. I've seen the graphics on them. Sick. Amazing. Sick. You know, that Sega dream, like Sega Dreamcast was supposed to be, is becoming a reality with these new systems that are coming out to replace the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 over the next few years. So, these new systems, just like we saw today in Champions League, teams winning, teams losing. You look at Barcelona, what a game against AC Milan. Milan is just not the AC Milan of old. They're not the team, that I grew up cheering for. They haven't been good since 2006. Statistically, they can't score anymore. Kaká's not the same player he once used to be. There's just a lot of things that's not going right for Milan. We could talk about, defensively, is everything working out? We could talk about are the team responding to Maximiliano Allegri, the Balotelli injury, Al-Shari injury. Injury upon injury. The defense not working out. Abiyati not making big saves. Defensively, it hasn't been going good. Offensively, it hasn't been going good. The midfield has been kind of a disaster at times. But it takes confidence, and for them to recover, especially in the domestic league and then into the Champions League, they really need to learn how to score goals again. Because one thing that was great about AC Milan was their ability to score goals. And when you're not scoring goals, it's just tough. Now, you have to be able to put the ball into the net. You have to be able to defend. You have to be able to stop the ball from going into your net. Everything needs to come together. So when it's not coming together, you always have trouble. And I think that's where Milan's finding it. I think it comes down to confidence. It comes down to practice. During the week, they go through training. They need to really work on their defensive structure. The Catenaccio's not working now, the chain. So they got to find another way of getting it done. So the most important thing for Milan forward here is they need to work defensively. And I think if they can work on the defensive part of their game, the goals will come. Rubinho is showing it. Mario Balotelli is showing it that they have the ability to score goals. It's just a matter of them work on the defensive part of their game, and I think everything else will come together. And that's what you always look for. If you're a big name team or a no name team or a small market team, it doesn't matter. As long as you work hard, good things will happen. So you look at the other games today. Zlatan, actually, Zenit Petersburg versus Porto. Both teams ended in a 1-1 draw. Good game. I saw some of the highlights. Hulk got an amazing goal. He had a penalty shot, missed. Porto got a nice goal by one of their great players. But it was a type of game where both teams were going for it. It's one thing when you're playing your old team. There's another thing when you're playing the fans that cheered you on for many years. And it was a good game, and that's all I can say is it was a good game of football. Both teams were going for it. Defensively, they were okay. The weather conditions weren't the best in St. Petersburg, Russia, but it's cold in Russia, so they had the gloves on and so and so. But when you really think about a team like Zenit St. Petersburg, is they have quality, they have a good goalkeeper, they have some good forwards, they have a good midfield. Same thing for Porto. I've seen Porto as one of the greatest teams in the history of Portuguese football, like Benfica. They've won numerous trophies over the last 50, 60 years. So, players like Eusebio and Di Stefano have played on these teams. So some of the greatest players to ever play the game of football. So, when you're talking about Porto, you're talking about a team that has lots of class, lots of ability, good manager, good system, They mastered the 3-4-5 formation. They're very good at what they do. And you look at Arsenal beating Borussia Dortmund today and on their home ground 1-0. That's pretty amazing. You know, when you really think about it, you have to have ability to make it happen, and they've shown it that they have the ability, they have the character, they have the belief, and when you have all those things working for you, good things are going to happen. And that's why Arsene Wenger has managed to do so well. He has been on his game. The team has played amazing. The chemistry's there. It doesn't matter if it's the Champions League. It doesn't matter if it's domestic league. It doesn't matter if it's a cup game. Arsenal, the team, the players, the defense, the goalkeeping, everything's been working out. Szczęsny played amazing in goal today for Arsenal. Ozil turned out to be a great signing for them from Real Madrid. He has a smile on his face. I think that smile was starting to go when he was playing in Real Madrid last season, and he's really, really becoming a great, great young midfielder that they have something to build with. Like when Thierry Henry was coming up and Cesc Fabregas. Those guys made Arsenal, good for the long term. I think long term they might win some trophies again because they are playing together as a team and as a unit. They showed it in the Liverpool defeat when they defeated Liverpool, beating them 2-0. They showed it in that game that this team, even if they lose 1 or 2 or 3 games in a row, they will find a way back with guys like Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, Mesut Ozil, Lucas Podolski when he gets back healthy. They have the depth. They have the players to come and play. Chamberlain's playing amazing. They're showing the true character, the true belief, the true fire that burns in their hearts. The Gunner fans across London, you got to really support their team. They've supported them for so long, and they've let them down. But I think this is the year where the team won't let them down. The team will show you what they're made of. When the season's all said and done, I guarantee you Arsenal will win a trophy this year. I just don't know which trophy they'll win, but I can tell you now, but they look so good right now. They are playing the best football I've seen them play in the last 15 years. Since they were good 2004, 2005, right? So in the last 10 years, they haven't played as good as they're playing right now in 10 years. That's a long time. Arsene Wenger got something cooking, and it's going good. And I look at the other game today, Chelsea, Schalke. Schalke just weren't good today. Defensively, they're all over the place. Hildenbrand, he had I think a brain cramp, and Eto'o came in and just scored on him. And then Eto'o got a nice cross from Willian, an amazing finish, 2 goals today. He is on his game. It's true Chelsea lost a tough game against Newcastle on the weekend. Newcastle played awesome. They played great defensively. They frustrated Jose Mourinho's squad. And, Jose made some big changes. And what happened? Dimbenbach gets a goal. Eto'o gets 2 goals. Wow. That's what happens. Sometimes you have to change up the mix. And when you change up the mix, things happen. Same thing with Manchester United. They've played good in the Champions League so far. They've looked pretty decent. Real Madrid has looked pretty good. Marseille hasn't looked real good. They lost today. Actually, no, they tied today against Napoli. Actually, no, they lost against Napoli 3-2. So, you have some teams that have done good in the Champions League, and you have some teams that have just struggled, like Milan, and Juve. These are 2 great Italian teams that just can't compete with the big boys like Napoli is doing. So, it is. The Champions League is very, very hard to compete in. You have to be very, very good. You have to believe in your ability. Sometimes you gotta find that little something in your heart, man, that makes you go. And I think that's what it is. That's why we love the Champions League. That's why, you see fans around the world, always, when the song comes on and they're like, this is the Champions League, it just gets something in their heart, their soul. It just takes something to play in this tournament, and that's why it's the best tournament in the world, I think. And some of the best teams on the planet playing it, and it's fun to watch. And another team that has really caught my eye this year has been Roma. I mean, their perfect record's over, but man, they've had such a great year. I mean, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's playing for one another. Now that is teamwork at its very best. So, folks, thanks for watching. This is Mark Spencer for the Champions League Review 2013 for Wednesday, November the 6th. I am back, folks. I hope to continue to chip in here and there with a Europa League vid or a Champions League vid, because at one time this was one of the best series I think I've ever done on YouTube or any other media. I think this has always been fun to talk football, soccer. I mean, the World Cup's coming up in 2014 in Brazil, so it's fun to talk some footy. See some of the players that are going to probably play in that World Cup, like Neymar.